Fuck. Hi guys. Coffee and Kareem is a new Netflix comedy that... You know what? Let me back up. Preface some of my comments in this video by letting you guys know, reminding you that I don't like being negative about movies, and I'm a very positive person. I'm very passionate about what I like and what I love. I try to give that energy out into the world. The reason why I come across as more angry in my bad movie reviews is because I don't like the feeling that I wasted my time or that I'm wasting my breath talking about it, and I don't like negative energy around my positive space. I want to preface my comments about this movie by saying that, just so that you guys know. It stars Ed Helms, Taraji P, Henson, Alan Greer, Betty Gilpin is in this movie. If you don't know who Betty Gilpin is, she was just in the movie The Hunt, which was released on digital a few weeks ago. If you haven't checked that movie out, check it out. It's pretty cool. I don't even remember the kid's name who plays Kareem in this movie, so I'm not even gonna bother trying to butcher his name. I apologize to the actor. Basically, Coffee and Kareem is a buddy cop movie where Ed Helms plays a cop. He's kind of a doofus, and he's dating Taraji P Henson for some reason. Her son, whose name is Kareem, does not like Ed Helms, and so one day he's out with him and he tries to set him up to get beat up by these drug dealers, and then one thing leads to another. All of a sudden the drug dealers are chasing them, and then there's this big thing, and the rest of the movie happened. You know what this movie's actually about? This movie's actually about me wanting to kill myself for 90 minutes. Okay, positives. Man, there's not that many of them. Taraji's in this movie. To be honest, anybody could have played Taraji, but I like Taraji, and I like looking at her, so... yeah, Taraji. And Betty Gilpin, I feel like she's the one thing in this movie that's kind of like, you know what? If this movie was better, I could really appreciate her. Like, she's really giving it her all in her scenes. She brings a lot of energy and a lot of charisma. She's really over the top and kind of silly in some scenes, but you kind of want to watch that. Like, you feel like maybe if the movie was about her, the movie would be more entertaining. I chuckled twice during this movie. Twice. And to be honest, I think the second time was bullshit because I had to sneeze, but I also had gas, and I think my body couldn't make up its mind about what it wanted to do, so it kind of snarted and it came out as a laugh. So I don't know if that second chuckle is legit. Two chuckles, Betty Gilpin and Taraji's ass. That's all this movie had. Come on, man. Like, come on. How is it? We're in a pandemic. We're in the middle of a pandemic. One thing that could help people feel better is a good laugh, a good comedy, something that makes them feel better, something that makes them feel more positive about the world that we live in today. Start with the obvious thing. It's just not funny, okay? Nothing in this movie is funny. This is some of the most horribly written humor that I've seen in any movie this year. In fact, go back to last year. It's probably one of the worst written comedy movies of last year, too. Matter of fact, let's go back to 2018 or 2017. Now, we have had some really shitty comedies in those years. Put this movie back in 2018 or 2017. Hell, 2016. Keep going back. Like, just keep going back 5, 10 years, maybe even this century. I don't know. Just go back and you'll find that this movie has some of the worst written comedy of any of the movies that you have seen in this century. I challenge you to challenge me on that point. One-liners and none of the dialogue in this movie really work. Like, it's all so lazy and tired and obvious and easy and vulgar and dirty and over the top, but none of it is done with any kind of cleverness or bite. It's just all in your face, and it's just kind of like, haha, this is funny, a kid cussing a bunch, laugh. This is basically not putting lotion on in the middle of the Sahara Desert. That's the level of dry that we have reached in this movie. And you feel like the material is sort of there for there to be a funny movie here, but unfortunately, the execution is just, it's toilet water. It's terrible. The kid that plays the kid in the movie Kareem, it's not the actor's fault, by the way. He's doing whatever he's been told to do in this movie. Basically, just cuss and say a bunch of terrible, nasty shit like he's an adult. And I get it, haha, it's funny, kids. They say a bunch of adult shit and it's supposed to be funny. It doesn't come off as funny. It comes across as obnoxious. Like, basically, Kareem in this movie, he's a walking dumpster. Like, that's all he is. He's a trash can that spits out dumpster juice the entire movie. So because Kareem is such a little shitbag and you don't really like him, it makes you not really care about their relationship, and then all of the jokes surrounding them are just shit. What is there to offer me in this movie besides Betty Gilpin and a cool little shootout at the end of the movie that in no way makes up for the hour and 20 minutes leading up to it? 20 minutes into this movie, I was just kind of like, Is the humor gonna be this bad the entire movie? Is the story at least gonna get more interesting? By the way, I'm gonna spoil this right now. The story does not get more interesting. It gets more predictable, more cliche the longer the movie goes on. In fact, funnily enough, as it applies to the humor gets worse the movie goes on. I'm not asking for much. I like vulgar movies, I like dirty movies, I like raunchy movies as much as the next guy. But I like movies that know what they're doing. This movie had no idea what it was doing or who it was trying to please, what audience it was trying to go for. It had no idea what it was doing. Admittedly, I got on Twitter about halfway through and I was just on Twitter and I just like occasionally glanced at the movie every now and then. A Twitter movie is a movie that plays in the background while you're on Twitter laughing at the real funny shit in the world. While you're laughing on Twitter, you occasionally glance at the TV, you're like, oh, there's a movie on. That's what this movie is. That's all the potential that it has. I'm going to put it in layman's terms. This movie can eat my pussy. I don't care. I don't care. I'm over it. I'm done. This is a shitty comedy. Throw it away with the rest of 2020. In fact, when we get to 2021, let's just act like this movie didn't happen. Like, if people ask me about what movies I saw in 2020, guess what? I'm not even going to remember this movie. Coffee and Kareem is absolutely the worst movie that I didn't see in 2020, and it's going to get a Quest for Peace. See it on Netflix? Scroll past it. There's plenty of other shit to watch. In fact, if you do happen to watch it, call Netflix and ask for them to pay you your subscription back. Seriously, I called Netflix just to see what they would say. Unfortunately, they didn't give me my money back, but hey, they might do it for you. Tell me, what are your top 5 favorite comedies of all time? Put that in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.